Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. Have a collision with purpose, 'cause you know that you're worth it, and your dream is worth capturing. If I'm not living on purpose, then none of it is worth it. My assignment is uplifting souls for the King, souls for the King, souls for the King.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to In the Spotlight. This is the home of unfiltered conversations where real talk is what we do. And I am none other than Donna Thompson.
And I'm Dr. Laxley Stephenson, and we are your moderators. Donna, I like what you're wearing on your head. ACWP. What's that all about?
You see it? You see it?
Only you could wear something like that.
A collision with purpose. Yes. I'm loving it.
Every week you pop something, you drop something new on us. What's next? What you got going on?
I see you have a new look too. I like your new look.
I'm just trying to keep pace with you. So this is what I was told. You should be able to turn it this way, turn it this way, turn it any way, and you still have something going on. So I'm just staying, keeping pace. So anyway it land on your head, it should work. That's what they tell me, because you know how life is. You got to just work it as it comes to you, right?
True.
So that's why mine is like that.
All right. I love it.
Right. So what's going on with you? Another Monday? Is today
Another
Monday?
It is Monday. It is Monday. It's another Monday. Wow. The weekend went.
You know what's happening? November is, on its way. It's almost Thanksgiving. Wow. Is time moving fast?
It seems like it. Yeah. It really. It's like it. The days are going by so fast. Like by the time the weekend get here and I'm looking and it's about to be Monday, I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? What did I do?
Time. I don't know if time is moving fast or we're too busy for our own good or for our own selves. I think it's more about we're so busy, we're doing so much that we don't have enough time to do what we need to do. And talking about that, that time thing is a big thing for you. And in February, you're going to be talking about time. That's something that you're going to be talking about. So let's talk about what you're going to be talking about. Let's talk about this.
All right. Yes. We are looking forward to this big night on February 22nd at Shiloh High School. Yeah, night of self-discovery and personal growth. Wow, the colloquium. Yeah, that is happening this year again on the 22nd of February.
Can I ask you a question about that? it says connect, be inspired, and make a lasting impact. What does that really mean?
You know, you want to, well, how do you look at connect, right? You can look at connect with others, or connect with yourself, connect with who you really are, connect with your purpose. And then, you come there and you're inspired. You're inspired by other people, the work that they're doing, what's happening in your community, your surrounding. And then just look into, do some introspection, right? How you're going to make a change that's going to have a lasting impact on yourself and your community, on a whole, or the world, whatever that may be. So, come into the colloquium. That's what it's all about. It's really connecting with others, but most importantly, I think it's really connecting with self, real self-discovery, figuring out who you are. Wow. And what you're really supposed to be doing on this little journey of life.
I really like that piece about connecting with yourself, and that's what it's saying, your odyssey to find purpose. So it's really you. It's about you. It's about your pursuit of this big thing we call purpose. So, Collision with Purpose presents a colloquium, your odyssey to find purpose, and you say it's about connecting with self. It sort of reminds me of something that you're working on, Shadows Within. It's all about finding you.
Right. Yeah, you have to really, I think it's, a lot of people, it's, we're in a time now where you're doing a lot of self-reflection. People are really doing a lot of self-reflection and really trying to figure out if they're really on that path of living the life that they're truly called to live. And if they're, their lasting impact, what are you doing to impact others? What changes are you making?
What changes are you making? So here is this book right here, Daily Insights Unveiled, Your Odyssey to Find Purpose. And I want you to talk a little bit about this book. What's on the inside?
Oh my gosh. Wow, what's not on the inside? That's more like what's not on the inside, because Daily Insights Unveiled, it has everything that you can possibly think of that touches humanity, right? And touches your being here, whether it's you need words of encouragement, words to inspire you, whether it's words to motivate you. You're going to find things in the book that speaks about forgiveness, how to manage your time. Just anywhere you turn in this book, you're going to find something that resonates with you. It's one of those books where yes, you can read it from the beginning to the end. If you choose to read it that way. But it's one of those books where you don't have to read it that way from the beginning to the end. You could literally just open the book, and any page you land in that book, it's going to speak to you.
Wow.
Somewhere in that, wherever you land, it's going to speak to you for that particular moment in time where you are. It's going to speak to you. It's a book where I would tell people, honestly speaking, I don't mean to cut you off. It's a book where I would probably say to someone, to make sure you have it with you all the time. It's like, like your little pocket book, your book of, get me through the day, get me through something, something that's happening now. It's one of those books that you're going to want to have with you all the time. It's not a book that you read and put it on the bookshelf and leave it there. That's not what this is. It's something that you want to have with you all the time.
Wow. I'm testing what you just said. I just turned to a page in the book, and it says, I remember visiting my father while he was receiving in-home care. He was a man of great strength and wisdom, whose life was filled with the robust melodies of hard work, laughter, and love. But that day I saw him sitting quietly, his hands unable to hold a newspaper he loved to read, which was a stark reminder of the fragility of life. His eyes, once so full of life, were now clouded with a mix of confusion and resignation. He did not recognize me. He did not know me. His music was coming to a halt. So that's the type of stuff you'll find in this book. And this particular one is about my personal experience, what I experienced with my father. So this book speaks to so much going on. And I just wanted to test what you said, and I just turned there, and it was a little bit emotional for me to read it because it really hit me right at home. So this is not a book that you can afford not to have, but if you have it, it's a book that you must read, because you talk about positivity, forgiveness, spirituality, unmasking, all kind of unmasking, and finding your purpose in the process. So we will be having a book signing in February 22nd at the colloquium, where we'll also be, honoring 12 plus individuals for their purposeful work. We'll also be giving away some scholarships to students in attendance. And we should also note that students always attend our events for free. So if you're a parent of a student, do us that favor of bring your students to the event. Of course, you have to pay. And the cost for entrance is what, $60 early what do you call it? Early bird
special.
Early bird special. But in another few days or so, the price will go up. But for that $60, you also get a copy of this book, Daily Insights Unveiled, Your Odyssey to Find Purpose. All right. So that's what we got with that, right? And anything else you want to add about that?
I just want to tell everyone that you want to have a seat in that theater come February 22nd. You don't want to hear about it like some individuals heard about the one we had previously. You want to experience this one for yourself.
Yeah, we'll have speakers. We have speakers from honorees from Jamaica, and they'll be speaking. We'll have honorees from Kenya. They will be speaking from Atlanta, New York, California, all parts. They're coming from everywhere, and they'll be speaking at the event. We'll have entertainment. We'll have music. We'll have some poetry, and we'll have, a lady singing there with the most beautiful voice, and she's going to be singing some, a couple of amazing songs, right? Mm-hmm. So big deal. It's something to look forward to. This is not something you can afford to miss. Just like you said, the last colloquium, what was the takeaway from the last colloquium? What did you hear most people say?
The last colloquium, I heard a lot of people saying, I thought I knew my purpose and I was on track with my purpose. But after leaving, they had to go back and really rethink and realize that there's so much more that they could be doing and ought to be doing. Mm-hmm. So it was very, for a lot of people, it was very emotional. It was an emotional event as well, because there was a lot of self-reflection that was taking place. You said this is a connection with yourself, and you can't connect with yourself unless you're willing to look within. Introspection becomes so important. Again, you're watching a Collision with Purpose in the Spotlight, and as my co-host, Dr. Donna Thompson, like to say, we'll leave nothing on the table. We have a packed show tonight. We have a guest waiting backstage. We should not keep her waiting much longer. So let's take a quick break, and then we bring her on. Sure.
I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid. I wake up in the morning and I praise the Lord. I thank Him for His protection, and I walk in His steps, declaring that today's provision is set up for me. I love God and I love my friends. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I put on my armor and I read His word, blessing come out of my mouth, cause I know to whom I belong. I am bold for Christ, Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying His presence wherever He sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bull kid. I'm a bull kid. Loving others as he told me to pray for healing miracles to see, knowing my identity in Christ, he is in me. I am a bold kid, he loves me, standing firm on his word, proclaiming everything I heard, not afraid because he is with me. Be bold. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Put on my armor, and I let his word blessing come out of my mouth, because I know to whom I belong. I am bold for Christ, Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying his presence wherever he sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid.
Welcome back to In the Spotlight. Donna, are you a bold kid?
Yeah, I'm trying to be.
Okay. I like that. I like that you're trying to be, because, we're never where we should be. It's always in pursuit, right? It's always work in progress. And I like the fact that that is so, because we can only become better and better and better through the pursuit, right? So I like that you're trying to be, and that's when you're living in the learning space, in the learning mode, when you're trying, right? So that's a good look, man. You always have the right answers. Maybe one day I can come up with the right answers. Let's bring her on. Let's bring our guest on. Let's not keep her waiting another minute.
Okay, sure. So I'm just gonna, just a little brief background of our guest. I know she's a returning guest. She, definitely spent some time with us a few weeks back, but she's so talented and have so much to share that, hey, she had to come back, right? But just a little bit, she's gonna speak all about herself. But Miss Karla Stephenson Hall, she's a best-selling author. She does have a new book, so she'll tell us all about her book as well when she comes on stage. But she is the chief financial officer of RJR Gleaner Group Jamaica Limited, which is the largest media organization in Jamaica. So she's the money lady. So I can't wait to hear about that as well. Very interesting. And she holds her BSc degree in accounting and economics. So that tells you a whole lot right there. She knows her numbers. So, we're just looking forward to her sharing all of her great work and achievements that she has accomplished. So without further ado, we are going to bring on Miss Karla Stephen Hall.
All right. Let's do a little bit of drum roll. Bop, 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 bop. Bring it.
All right. We gotta bring her on.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
You had me laughing so hard.
Welcome back. Welcome back to In the Spotlight.
Thank you for having me back. It's interesting talking to you guys all the time, so I appreciate the call back.
The call back, right? The return call. So like we're having a phone conversation and we missed someone missed the call, so the return call. It's great having you back, and you have
exactly.
I think we have a delay going on. So we'll work with the delay. So it's great having you back. Can you share? Donna, gave a very brief introduction, but can you tell us who Karla Stephen Hall is?
Okay, so Karla, sounds like an interview question, huh? So who is Karla? Karla is pretty much someone who loves life, loves people, loves making an impact, and just loves I like to ensure that wherever I go, my presence is felt in some way. Also, I'm a mother of two, and I'm a wife and a sister and a daughter and a friend. Those are the things that are important to me. So that's who I am, and I'm just a lover of life, and I think a lover of people, and advancement and improvement, and just always being better. That's who I am.
Oh, I
In a
like
nutshell.
that. Lover of life and a lover of people. Wow. And that's what it's all about. The most important thing, you just captured it right there. So Donna, I see that you was about to say something.
Oh, I was actually about to type something, but so Karla, so this is a little bit kind of like a little bit off topic a little bit, but I'm interested to find out like why you said yes to join us again.
Okay. Why I said yes, because I really don't give up an opportunity to share. I mean, I don't give up an opportunity to talk to people. So there's something that can be taken from any conversation that you have. So there may be somebody else who is watching now that wasn't watching the first time, that maybe through our conversations will have some impact on them in a different way. So I never give up the opportunity to share and to make an impact. That's really what I'm about. And your show is impactful. That is also a big part of it as well. I can see what you do. I I like what you do. I'm encouraged by what you do. And of course, finding purpose is something that a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people are struggling with now. And I think what you do is very good work, and you really enhance that space. So I'm happy to share on any space that is adding some value to the world and making people better.
Mhm. And again, just like you, she gives the perfect answer. Perfect answer. Just like you, Karla gives the perfect answer. So I'm the one lagging with answers. Karla, leadership is a big part of your life. A big part of your life. You're a best-selling author, so you're leading in that space. You are into the finance business. You're an accountant, and at the top level, you operate at the top level, and you're an entrepreneur as well. How did all of this shape your journey?
So I think I tell people may think that you want to be a leader and you want to excel, and they think, oh, that's something that you try to be. I think that's something that kind of evolved for me. It evolved for me because of my life experiences and who I am. I'm always talking to people. I like to make people feel comfortable. I like to teach. I just like to engage with people. And I think that just the leadership aspect of it came naturally from just always wanting to share with people, and we can work together to make it better. That sort of team approach that has always kind of propelled me into being the leader of whatever group I'm in. And so I think all of my life experiences, I think also because I have had a very full life that has involved, some illness, being told at a particular point in my life that, hey, you have 2 years to live. And I'm just like making use of the time I have. I don't waste moments. And so because of that, I think I take the opportunity to share with people, what I'm going through, health wise. People are always on my health journey with me. And so because of that, I think I just always end up in that position where I'm talking to people, I'm encouraging them. And I mean, I know people think leadership is about being at the top, but that's not really what leadership is about. It's about vision building and helping people along the way. And so I think I was just propelled into that by virtue of my life experiences and just who I want to be. You want to be impactful, so people tend to listen, and then you engage in different ways. And then you just develop those muscles. Those are muscles that you develop along the way based on your experiences.
See, Donna asked you why you came back. Now you just explain why we asked you back. Because, you know, leadership is not necessarily been on the top. And I want you to talk a little bit more about that. And is there a leadership vacuum in your home country, Jamaica?
I don't think there is a leadership vacuum. Well, I think what has happened is that persons have not actually focused on understanding the value of leadership. So we have leaders, but are they leading in the right way? What are they? Their influence? How are their influence being used? So I find that personally, when I look at business and financial situations, just from that perspective, I see when you look at a company that is not doing well, a company that's struggling, 3/4 of the time, look at the leadership. Leadership is critical. And a lot of people tend to put leadership on the persons at the top, the CEOs, the board of directors. Yes, they're critical, but leaders are everywhere in the company. Leaders are your supervisors. We undervalue them, but they're the supervisors. They're the people who drive what you need. They're the people who energize the people. They're the people who do what is required. So I think what has happened is that we haven't had much focus on leadership skills and developing the cohorts coming out of university to actually become leaders and not selfish persons. We're more in a selfish state of existence, I think, and leadership doesn't have any selfishness involved.
Donna?
So with that said, how would you define effective leadership? And like, what principles guide your approach to that?
All right. So for me, leadership, I think it's it sounds very cliche, but it's a labor of love, I think. That's what I would call it. It's a labor of love. It's about what you do, and it's about the people that you lead. It's about developing people to be the best that they can be, and allowing people to be the best they can be. It's about creating visions that people will understand clearly and work towards, things that matter to them. It's about doing what you say and not just saying, I tell you to do something, or just saying that it's going to be done, never do it, and expect that people are going to trust you. It's about doing exactly what you say. Leadership, I think, is about encouraging people to build their own muscles to support you. Not being afraid to make mistakes, because they're a part of the journey. A lot of people tend to think that, if you make a mistake, it's the end of the world. But good leadership guides you through mistakes in a particular way. It's okay, we've made the mistake. How do we recover? And help them to learn lessons from whatever actions. So I think it's an all-encompassing thing about vision building, guiding, supporting, empowering, and and being there for people.
Sound like you wrote the book on leadership, effective leadership, or you wrote a chapter or two, or you wrote a chapter. Go ahead.
That's my next book.
Okay. Effective leadership.
Working on it.
You're working on it.
I am working on it.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Let's talk about, you're a transformational leader, and that's a whole different type of, leadership there. You've dealt with all types of challenges, and I want to talk about how in your work, as long as you've been in leadership positions, how do you overcome some of these challenges that you face, and what are some of the most prominent, significant challenges you face, and how do you overcome them?
That's a big question, How do so some of the challenges I think as a leader that I face, well, I mean, initially when you started out young is being the youngest one in the room, and making your voice be heard. But in addition to that, I think the biggest challenges you as a leader that you face is actually managing people with results. And I think managing people, that has been one of my biggest challenges, understanding personalities and how to get them connected and engaged. Mm-hmm. And that is critical, I think. And how I have, and I think how I have gone through that is that I always make an effort to listen. And I always make an effort to understand people. I don't write off anybody because everybody is a particular way. Everybody is a way is because of a reason. Everything that you see, something may have impacted them to cause them to act a certain way. So for me, at any point that I step into any form of leadership role, it's about understanding the people that I'm leading, the culture that I'm in, and understanding that first. So I remember I was at a company that I worked. They had a retreat and they called it Listen Like a Leader. And that was one of the things that I think has taken me through a lot of my transformational route, because I've really stopped and listened. But not only that, I've shared my experiences. And so when I face challenges, I can say to them, I have gone through this. This is how I dealt with it. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. So have you, or I was like this at some point because I wasn't born a leader. And as you go through life, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to learn from them. Some things you did a particular way earlier, you're going to do them differently because you see what the results were. So I tend to, because of that, my challenging moments, I end up sharing and I say, look, when I have a headache or when my back is hurting me or what have you, I just try to do this so that, people can gain a level of trust. So they know when I'm up, I'll get it done. And, so I try to teach them based on my life experience. And that has what really carried me throughout a lot of my leadership challenges. And of course, grit. I don't give up.
Donna, you got
I
it?
do not give up. You have to beat me at it. I do not give up.
That's good. That's very good. So the next thing I want to ask you, because I see that you have a very huge responsibility in your current role as CFO of RJR, the Gleaner Group, right? That's there in Jamaica. If you could just kind of what are some of the challenges you face in the media industry, especially it seemed like an industry that there can be so many different dynamics that's happening, and how do you navigate through all that?
Okay, so I can tell you how I'm navigating because I'm pretty much new in the media industry. I can't tell you about overcoming yet, but I'm new in the industry. So I'm 4 months old in my role, right?
Wow.
And so I am still learning about the media industry. Yes. And so I think when you look at it, you can see, even without being in the role, you could see the challenges that they face. And I walked in and saw the challenges that they face. You know, we're in a global world now, and media is never ever competing with locals anymore. Media is competing on an international scale because WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, all of those are in direct competition. And so I am in an industry now because RDR Group is not just about TV and radio. It's actually about TV, radio, and print. So the conglomerate, the company has a lot of tentacles that are key to media in Jamaica, and all of them are affected by what is happening in the world. And so the challenge that is faced is what is being faced everywhere in the world. How do we recalibrate to make sure that we stay relevant and to make sure that we're still on the cutting edge of technology while still delivering quality journalism that people want to hear about?
Wow. I'm sure that's a huge challenge. It's almost like now when you think about journalism, it's with all, like you're saying, with all the different avenues of information coming at us, it's like, is that going to be something that's obsolete in a few years? Because everyone is using different media sources for their news.
Yes. But you know, we are reliable. And so because news is everywhere and some of it is fake. So there is going to be a point where there's a value. There is a value in news with integrity and journalism with integrity. We just have to evolve to ensure that people know that and people know where to find us and connect with us. And so that's the challenge that everybody faces.
And as I'm listening to you, Karla, I think integrity, credibility, and honesty are all so important. But I think what is critical is any news organization must maintain a level of agility, right? They must be agile, they must be adaptable, because you have to deliver on the platforms that people are listening to or watching. So how is RJR, your group, with that in terms of the platform that they're using to deliver the message that they're sending?
Well, we are on all platforms. I think what we are currently doing is making sure that we will be number one on all the platforms. We have a brand that is like none other, and people connect with it. And so what we're doing is just making sure that we are first place in all of those platforms for credible news and credible content, not just news, but content that people connect with.
Yeah, and everything you're saying is so important. But you know what nowadays, people watching, listening to the news, they're a couple of seconds, they're in, they're out. They're not investing a lot of time, and they're receiving what they want to hear on demand. So they go for it, and it's not delivered to them. So how do you counter that type of appetite for information? How do you counter that?
Well, so what we have to do is, and of course I'm for one thing. So, we have to look at the content that we have, and we're looking at the strategies to make sure that the content that we have is relevant. We're trying to make sure that we have the content that is connecting with people, not just Jamaicans, but connecting with people, Jamaicans in the diaspora, yourself. We have to connect with people like you, so that you can see us wherever we are. And we are working on those platforms to make sure that we connect in that way, developing the connections and creating that credibility. Because you see, that is the important part of it, People will come to you. Yes, people like, ratchet, people like to hear that, but people at the end of the day want to know that whatever you tell them is right.
Yeah, the
And so we
truth
put
is,
a lot of effort.
truth is important, right? And we have seen leaders from all walks of life just making it up, telling you as they see it. It's like, what do they call it? Alternative truth? Is there such a thing? Alternative truth?
Alternative facts.
The facts, right? Alternative facts. All right, so I think this is a good time for us to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about your work as a best-selling author. So let's take a quick break, then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about that.
Caught in the web of what they said, lost in the expectations, living in hesitation. I walked in other shadows. Deep inside a fire burned, a whisper turned to a roar. I am liberated from walking in other shadows. I walk in my authentic self, breaking chains within. From the shadows to the light, a new life begins, shining so bright. Society tries to mold you into someone you couldn't be, fighting through the darkness to find the real me. No longer bound by others' rules, let your spirit soar. With every step you take, you are stronger than before. I am liberated from walking in other shadows. I walk in my authentic self, breaking chains within. From the shadows to the light, a new life begins, shining so bright. Breaking away from the shadows within, I rise up and shine from deep within. Of light, I'll always be living in truth, walking in victory. I am free, yes, I am free. From the shadows to the light, I am free. Walking in my truth, forever free. Living in victory, shining brightly. I am liberated from walking in other shadows. I walk in my authentic self, breaking chains within. Self.
Welcome back. In the spotlight, we're talking about shadows within. There for a moment, that video, I'm walking in my authentic self. So Donna, can you tell us real quick before we talk to Karla about her powerful book? Can you tell us a little bit about shadows within? And I also would like to get Karla to just jump in on that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. So Shadows Within, it is anthology where we're going to have approximately 20 to 21 co-authors and just sharing our story of overcoming. We're getting some feedback there. Ooh, sorry.
Let's go ahead.
So we're just going to be sharing our stories basically of overcoming living in other individuals' expectations, or even just living in someone else's shadow where you're living someone else's life, and how you've broken away from it and really really finding yourself, finding your purpose, right? Now just standing on your own platform and being proud of who you are and living a life of purpose and aligning your life with what you were really created to be. And really just sharing our stories of how we've kind of like found ourselves, almost like a rebirth, a rebirth of oneself, to where now you're walking in your shadow, you're defining yourself, and you've defined yourself. And that's what Shadows Within is all about. And of course, it applies to, male and female, right? Because we all have these life experiences.
And of course, this is an anthology, and our guest, Karla Stephen Hall, she knows something about this anthology. She's a best-selling author in one of these. So can we get you to just, you saw the video, Karla. What are your thoughts about Shadows?
I think there's a lot of times when you have things that happen to you that impact you, and while you're walking that path, there's so many things that happen, and I think the shadows are like your experiences that you have to, I'd want to say, channel. While you're in it, you can't channel them, but sometimes after you've passed, like each shadow, I'm not going to say one, after you've passed each one, you channel what happened with the last one, and that kind of builds you to move to the next step. And eventually, when you take the lessons from each of them, then you can find your purpose.
Mm.
I'm still channeling and developing, but once you get through that, you'll find your purpose, and it's always a work in progress. I think. I don't think it's a final destination of this is it. But as you go along and life throws you different curves and you go around different turns, you will find different things, different lessons, different achievements that teach you things. So I don't look at them as, for me, it's not a negative connotation at all. It's everything that's coming at you and how you deal with it.
Mm. It's an interesting perspective. And yeah, so let's talk about your book. And we're gonna bring it up. We're gonna bring up your profile. What a profile.
I love it.
What a profile.
Thank you very much.
Yes, let's move to your book here, because that's what it's all about. Thriving.
Yes.
Thriving. Yeah, let's talk to us about that.
Yeah, so it's a book that I co-authored with about 15 other ladies who are so amazing, and they have stories about different things that they have endured, what has actually driven them to happiness and to their version of thriving. So it's they speak to motherhood, singledom, creating businesses, divorce. There's a gamut of experiences that are just laid out in that book, and persons just sharing what my experience was and how I got over it. My chapter is about marriage, thriving in marriage. And I used it, but it really wasn't all about thriving in marriage. It was really about, for me, it was really about thriving as an individual, managing being a mother, a wife, and all things that I need to be: mother, wife, daughter, sister, friend, and still affirming to women, men, it can be to men too, and still affirming to people that this, you can have it all, you can try to do it all, but I just gave tips on how I think you can manage to have it all and to find the balance, which is what a lot of people tend to call it. They speak about balance. I don't like the word balance because I don't think there's any such thing called balance. And that's what and in my chapter I kind of explain about that, because I don't think there's anything called balance. I think it's about prioritizing things in the moment to achieve what you need to get done in that particular moment while serving everyone that you need to serve. And so I spoke about my experience and how I managed to balance and thrive in what I do. I spoke about the techniques that I use to make it through. I am a career professional. I am a career woman. I'm a woman in leadership, which has its challenges is in and of itself. And I'm a mother of 2 kids, one that has some challenges, and I'm also a wife, but I'm also a friend, and I'm a daughter, and I try to show up in all of those places. And so I utilize all the skills I have, and I do what is required to make sure that I can achieve in all of those spaces.
The way you broke it down. You're all these things. You're a mother, you're a career person, you're a daughter, you're all these things. How do you establish these priorities that you don't do balance? How do you establish these priorities? That's what I want to know. Because that's something a lot of us struggle with.
And I can tell you, it wasn't easy, but I have this thing called a village, and I call them my village. And that is what helps me. I have a few people that know how to set me straight. And that was a big part of it. And so I believe the friends you keep are very important. And I didn't know I could do it all until I got the support system that I have. And I am allowed to prioritize some things because I have my support system. I'm allowed to do that because I know I can work late because I know my kids are taken care of. And when I go home, there's a particular time that's set for me and them. I know that I can prioritize a meeting at a particular time when my kids have an activity, because I know they have an auntie or uncle who they know is going to be there for them. Because I have and I wasn't always that way. I really always wanted to do it myself. And that's a valuable thing that I learned, that if you want to have it all, you have to have the right support system. And that is what surrounds me. I can call and say, this is what I think about doing this a particular way, and somebody will set me straight. No, that's wrong. Or you need to prioritize this in this moment. Or I can put out something to say, I need somebody to help with this. And I know that somebody's going to say, okay, I'll find the time if nobody else does. Or I have your back to do this. And the support system is so critical. You cannot attempt to try to do it all without that. I mean, I can speak to when I was trying to do as I said it here on the last show, when I was studying for my MBA, my son was 2. My daughter was 2, and my son was like a baby, but I knew if I needed to do something, I could call an auntie or an uncle. I call them village aunties and village uncles and say, look, I need Saturday. Can you keep the baby for me? And they're like, okay, drop them off, because they are tied in, where all our visions are tied in together. And that kind of support is so critical. I could not survive without it.
A winning approach indeed. Definitely a winning approach. Donna?
Yeah, so we see, like, in your book, you offer some advice to women who they're pursuing to be leaders. What is one advice from your chapter that you think it's very essential for a female who is actually aspiring to be a leader that you shared in your story?
I think from the book, for a female who is aspiring to be a leader, I would say the key point is to pick the right partner. That's a key one. Pick the right partner.
That's a whole lot.
Right. Pick the right partner that will support you and in what you do, and will understand what you're going through to get where you need to get. And that's a big part of it. And I want to add something from a personal perspective, though, that I think a big thing that females, because we're focusing on the females, I think that from a female perspective, a lot of female leaders or we're teaching them, they need to understand that you do not have to act like a man to be a good leader. You don't have to be a monster. You can be firm and empathetic. They're perfectly okay walking hand in hand.
Wow.
No, we're not saying that men are monsters and they're
No, we're We're not saying that we're monsters. There. Let me do that. Yeah. But you know, a lot of people tend to feel like female leaders are
Like you have to be
hard and
macho.
tough, and you have to wrestle with the men. You don't have to. You can be yourself. You can be firm.
Mhm.
Firm is not bad, and you can hold people accountable.
Yes,
With
there's
and
something
still
about,
be empathetic.
there's something about being assertive that is important,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and we're talking about being assertive as well. So there are 15 other authors in there. Other than your chapter, which is your favorite chapter in the book?
I think my favorite chapter. Oh wow, I have so many favorites. Good God, do I have to choose one? Um, I have so many.
We have a politician here with us, Donna.
I love the book. Like the book is really good. I mean, I took it up and read it in one go. I love
Okay, so
the book.
they're all favorite. All the chapters are your favorite.
All
We'll
the
accept
chapters
that.
are my favorites.
We'll accept.
One of.
One of. Sorry, I have to choose one. One of my favorites. I think I don't remember the author off the top of my head, but what stood out for me was when she was going through trouble in her marriage, and there was lack of connection, etc. And she sat one day and she actually she spoke to herself about a few things, and then she made a decision as to how to change it. And then she sat down on that journey. And it worked out. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, I'm like, yes, I'm that person. And of course the ladies, I mean, I don't know, I can't choose a favorite. I just like that story. But you know, all of them were so good. I mean, you had people who were going through developing businesses, and you know what they went through to develop their business and keep it going. Like the strength was so good. You know, marriages, when you see marriages, and you know, one person speaking about her marriage and how she has to support her husband, and it's, you know, she values that, and how they just stuck together to get through the bad times. You know, you have other people speaking about how motherhood developed them, how motherhood made them realize their purpose and their reason for loving. It's, you know, there's so many wonderful stories that it's an amazing book. I love it.
During the process of writing, was there a lot of crying?
No, not for me. Because for me, it was when Dr. Wright contacted me and we were discussing it. You know, she's just another great person as well, and her chapter is amazing. She has been through so much. She's awesome. And you know, when Dr. Joan spoke to me about it, and we've always been talking about writing a book, and she's always on. I've been writing this book about leadership forever, and she keeps saying, Karla, when are you get it done? I know she's listening. I soon get it done, Joan. So, and you know, and when we're discussing it, and she was saying, you know, let's, you know, I want to do a book, you know, to give advice. All she had to say was advice, and I was there. I was like, okay, people are going to benefit from my advice. They can see what I have done to get over some obstacles. And she had me at that. I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'll get it done. No worries. You know, so it was just another way for me to just share with the world.
Wow. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about advice. We're going to have you give advice. You're going to give advice on marriages. You're going to give advice about leadership. Period. So let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back. Karla is going to give us advice. So you're watching In the Spotlight, the home of unfiltered, as Donna like to put it, raw. Anything goes. Nothing is left on the table.
what they said, lost in the expectations, living in hesitation. I walked in other shadows. Deep inside a fire burned, a whisper turned to a roar. I am liberated from walking in other shadows. I walk in my authentic self, breaking chains within, from the shadows to the light. A new life begins, shining so bright. Society tries to mold you into someone you couldn't be, fighting through the darkness to find the real me. No longer bound by others' rules, let your spirit soar. With every step you take, you are stronger than before. I am liberated from walking in other shadows. I walk in my authentic self.
All right, welcome back to In the Spotlight. I had to play it again because that part about every step you take, you're stronger than before. I wanted to hear that because that's so much of how you describe it. You know, Karla, that's what you talked about. So I just wanted to play that for anyone out there watching us, listening to us, to hear that, because that is so important, right? Right, Dr. Donna?
Yes, it absolutely is.
Every step you take, stronger than before. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So before we even get into the advice piece, I'd like for you, Karla, to get as close as you can into the camera. And I want you to pinpoint one person out there, only one.
Only
person.
no.
Now, and I want you to say thank you to that one person for what they've done throughout your life for you. One person.
Wow. That's rough. That's rough. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pick one. Just one. But my village, I love you.
Disclaimer.
They will understand. They will understand.
You know, I'm gonna pick my husband, and I'm gonna pick him because I think he has been there to support.
You're talking to him now. Talk to him.
Talk to him. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're talking
Tell
to
him
him.
what you're telling.
Oh, tell him. Okay. So so I'll call his name Harton. So you've been there through sickness, and I specify in sickness. You're always there in sickness and in health, and he's one of my biggest supporters, and I appreciate that I can always depend on that support. I can walk knowing that if I fall, I'm not going to hit the ground, because I have somebody that's supporting me every step of the way. And that is so encouraging for me and allows me to live in my purpose and do what I need to do.
Donna,
Awesome.
she said it. Her husband. She's got the right answers for things. She always have the right
That
answer.
was a very good answer.
Yes, but a truthful answer,
Right.
a truthful answer as well. Thanks for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for sharing that. Did he just make a comment? Is he watching?
He should be watching, but
Did he just make a comment?
but you see, I'm allowed to do this interview because I know he's taking care of the kids.
Oh, see, another reason why
See?
he's the person.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know that he is, he's there. That's why I can do what I do, because I know we've always worked it out. We have the team down. We have the right team, we have the teamwork down.
Awesome.
When I need to step back, he steps forward. When he needs to step back, we have it down. We have been walking together for what, 25, 24 years? Yeah.
And you said it earlier, choose the right person.
Yes, yes, it is very critical. I mean, I remember when I was about to, when I got pregnant, somebody said to me, why don't you go overseas and have your baby? I was like, oh no, I can't do that. And they were like, why? I was like, I don't know how to sleep in a hospital room without my husband beside me. I don't know how to do that. How can I leave him? I can't do that. No, I'm staying right here. So, there are certain things that I just don't know how to do without him, because we've been doing those things for so long.
Just let me read a comment here. Sugar Spoon Deserts, that's an interesting name. He's really a supportive guy. And Lisa Richmond, thanks for watching, Lisa. You're one of our top supporter. Beautifully said. And yeah, you have folks agreeing with you.
Yeah, Sugar Spoon knows him.
Clearly. Is that really his name, Sugar Spoon?
No, that's a girl. She's a baker. Yeah, she's a baker. Excellent.
My bad. Sugar Spoon. I like that.
Oh.
Yeah, Sugar Spoon. So I went to the store today, the farmer's market today, right? And normally when you go to this farmer's market, you have ackee all over the place, right? Endless amount of ackee. So I went there today, do my normal thing. Donna, I get a case of plantain, right? And I bring it and I stop by your house. And I drop off the stuff. And I went to get the ackee and they said, no ackee. No ackee on the counter. There's a big sign up there saying Hurricane got the ackee. Big sign on the thing. Hurricane got the ackee. Yeah. So that was sad. So is that really a big problem in Jamaica right now with produce and things like that?
Yeah, yes, it is. I mean, what has happened we've had quite a few hurricanes that have passed. And so what we have to do is, what we're pretty much, and that has affected the agricultural environment right now. So what you find is that we're really going to be in a state of maybe not deficiency. We're just going to have a lot less, and it's going to drive prices up as well. But the farmers have been really affected by the rains, because what has been happening is that we have been hit by a hurricane to get a lot of wind, but the rains, we've been getting so much rain that it's really affecting that sector.
Oh, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. And no ackee. That was tough. That was a tough one. And so another comment, oftentimes partnership makes a journey easier to succeed. So, you're getting major support, and I know we're in agreement. We're in agreement with all of that good stuff, because it's all about the partnership. Even business, right? Donna is my business partner in a collision with purpose, and it couldn't be a better partner in our project together. So partnership, not just in that personal space, but also in business, in every aspect of life. Yes. Partnership is critical. So now I want you to give some advice, right? You have all these young folks out there, and education is such an important piece of your life, because you've shown it.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's certifications, whether it's degrees, name it, you have them all, right?
Yes. And
with education, there should also be jobs after education, right? There should also be jobs. So that's the concern. All these kids going to school, and many of them don't have jobs after. What's the solution for that?
So I think it's about sometimes it's about how we parent as well. But what has been happening is that what we need to do is we need to start with a mentality of, I want to be the best, or I want to be very good. Because when you approach it that way, what you find is that you seek the knowledge that is required to make you grow and become better. It doesn't have to be being a lawyer or an accountant, but the world is changing, and jobs, people can create their own jobs now. There was a time when, when I'm growing up, you had to be an accountant, a lawyer. Those things were like strict professions. No, there's no such thing as a strict profession. The world is evolving. So what we have to, and people can create their own jobs. And so what we have to do is we have to encourage persons to keep learning. But when they learn, use their learning to say, okay, do I add value to an existing profession, or do I use it to elevate an existing profession, or do I create something different? Or add something to what is there, or do I make something different? How do I solve problems? People now need to look at jobs as how they solve a problem. So that is how we need to look at it.
And so not just jobs, education.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and what I've, from my perspective, many are creating opportunities and jobs in Jamaica, and sometimes it's not the best opportunities they create, because there's some creative people, right? They have created professions.
That's an existing job. That's not a new one.
Yes. So there's some creativity still out there, right? But on a serious, and that's a serious thing as well. But of course, you're on the positive side of this argument. You're talking about, in where, as in education is concerned, too many times I believe that we go and do things that we like to do, enjoy doing, things that are easy to do. And what you're saying, that is not necessarily how it should be. You've got to look at demands, look at the trends, where things are heading, where technology is going, and then apply yourself accordingly and get the kind of education that will be needed in this new space, right? In this new ecosystem.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
But it's not even about that as well. You say it's not necessarily about what you enjoy. It can be about what you enjoy. What you enjoy, you will learn better. What you enjoy, you will do well at. How do you use the skills that you have gained, that you enjoy, to create something better or to make something better? And that will no longer feel like work. I mean, I have a very hectic job, but I love coming to work. I love what I do. It's not about where I work, or I just love what I do.
And you should, because that's where you spend most of your time.
Exactly.
I was once, even as an employee, and this is just another suggestion, even as an employee, you need to see yourself as owning that business. Whatever that you do, you are in that position of ownership. You own this piece, this part of whatever it is that you're doing. Take ownership for that. Take full responsibility, accountability to deliver. But too often that's not the case, right?
Exactly. And the problem is people try to associate themselves with a company. And that is one of the things that I try to instill in a lot of the people that I lead. Don't think about it as I am making a company better, or I'm contributing to a company. Think about it as my skills. I have skills. I have to do things to the best of my ability. I am always going to be learning to do them better, to add value, because what I bring to the table for a company is my brand, my personal, who I am. So if I don't look at it as for a company, I look at it when I walk into a company, I come in as my best self. I come in with skills. I try to hone my skills while I'm there. I'm learning so I can become better. And with every space of learning, what you find is I get better at what I do. I add value to the company, but I become a better person at the same time. So I don't connect myself to I am of a company. It's I am bringing to the table skills. I am becoming better and I am adding more value. And if everybody looks at it that way as a personal initiative to do that, we're all good. The company is going to excel because everybody is giving of themselves in the best way they can.
In the best way they can. Donna?
I think I like, something you just said, and I'm like, it's quite interesting. When you said, when you're working for a company, you look at yourself in a different light and look at yourself and your skill set as a brand, and not that you are the company, but your skill, who you are, that's your brand. And no one can take that from you, because that is, it's kind of like, how we all have our own unique fingerprints, right? We all have our own unique skills. And the way we do things, the way we think, we're all different. So that's very powerful what you said. Teaching our younger people that when you're learning and you're enhancing your skills, to really look at yourself, that I am this brand, me, myself. That's very powerful and very impactful.
And leaders need to do more of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a key thing. Well, I'm going into the advice, but that's a key thing that's the key thing about leadership. It's actually stopping to understand the tools that you have, aka the people that you have, and how you bring out the best in those people to make sure they add the particular value to you. If if somebody has a particular trait that will assist with organization, fit them into the space where they add the most value with the best that they have. We need to stop trying to put square pegs into round holes. Assess what you have and then say, okay, your skills are best placed here, and develop them, because sometimes they don't even realize it. So as leaders, we have to stop and say, how can I help you become the best you? Because sometimes people just don't know. Some people start out with a goal and they know what they're going to achieve in life, and some people just need a nudge. Some people just need to say, okay, let me help you. Let me show you what is possible if you hold this particular skill.
Right. Karla, what is success? Define success for me.
Oh, wow. Okay, so personally, because for me it's a personal and professional thing. So personally, I think success is the ability to keep and grow the relationships that matter. To be financially stable, that's a good professional goal. That's a personal goal for me. And also knowing that, continuing to show that I'm not alone on this journey, and everybody that comes into contact with me leaves better off. That's success for me personally. Professionally, it's an ability to contribute to change, evolution, advancement in companies, teams, in a meaningful way. Make companies more profitable, make the people better, create better cultures, and being the best at what I do. So those are my professional and personal goals. There are a lot of things underneath it. So, like I plan to do leadership training. I have a few other books that I'm penning that when I come out, I'll definitely share with you. So, a lot of those things that are a part of how I make that impact, to make sure that you come in contact with my name and you leave a better person.
Mm.
How can a person purchase your book?
Well, they can go on Amazon. It's on Amazon. It's also, I actually have a payment link that person can just go on and we'll ship it directly to them. I think I'll post that in the chat.
Put it in the private somewhere, and we'll put it up.
And you right. So I will do that.
Mhm.
So right, so it's on Amazon, and also you can connect with me. The website will be up soon so that you can actually direct purchase, but with the payment link you can actually just go on and actually and order the book. Just put your address in and we will get it shipped to you. Pay for it, we'll get it shipped to you, and no problems.
Awesome. You know, you're doing so much, and I just want to know, what's your thoughts on the legacy? How important is legacy to you?
It's very important. It's one of the things that I tell a lot of the people that I mentor all the time, that I want them to be better than me. I want them to have better qualifications, more knowledge, because I want them to grow, to exceed what I have achieved. And that is what will make me happy, seeing them grow, seeing them develop, seeing them move into their purpose. I tell them all the while as a joke, I want you guys to make sure that you're better than me, so that when I get old and gray, I can call you and say, I need, and you say, no problem. You know, so I try to do that, because, I have seen where people have poured into me, and with just genuine care. And I know the difference that makes to me. And that's something that I try to do. I have a mentee now that, every time I see her, every time I just see what she has achieved, my heart just smiles, because I know that, the first time we came into contact and we sat in a room and I said, I believe in you. And she started to cry. I was like, what is happening? And that taught me that there were people there who just needed somebody to say, but you can do this. What are you talking about? And, from the day I saw those tears, we have worked together. And she's probably heading to be more qualified than me soon. And I'm so happy about it. Because I've seen her grow in confidence, grow in knowledge, just become a better person and understanding more about where she needs to go. And that's amazing for me.
Wow.
Can I read a couple comments? From Hilda, knowledge is power, and power creates the opening for us to explore options based on the changes occurring. From Lisa, life is not about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. You are the narrator of your life. You have the power to change your circumstances in your life. It starts with you. And one more, Hilda said, identify your potentials and utilize it to your fullest ability. As leaders, we need to help others to develop their true potential and not stifle them. Even they may do better than us. Leaders are not afraid. A good thing is, if you're a leader, is for that person to become better than you. That is a sign you'll be very.
That's also something I speak about in my book, because my ability how I have structured my leadership is I empower my people. I teach them what I know, So I empower them, and they know how I think. So they know how to make a decision the way I would have evaluated it. So you know what? When my daughter has therapy, I can leave to go to therapy with her because I know it's okay. Like, they've got this. I don't have to worry that I have to always be there because I know they've got this, because I have not withheld any of my knowledge. There's nobody below me who does. I have to teach them what I can do, because in me teaching them what I can do, it means I can actually go to do something better, of more value, and they can actually contribute in a better way. It grows them. And so that has been a part of how I am able to actually prioritize things, because I pour into them, empower them, make sure they get the right training, be always there, so that if they need a sounding board, they can call me, we can have a conversation. If they make a mistake, I say, okay, that's okay, you did that bad, next time, so how are we going to fix this? Or next time, not to do it like this. And so they know how to maneuver. And so when I'm not there, the world is not going to fall, because they have this, and they know they have this because I tell them they have it.
And that's really good, because I think we still have so many leaders who they're afraid to empower their staff. For whatever reason. Some leaders, they work where they may have a great staff and it's a good resource, and it's like, you have your ace in your back pocket, so you don't want them to leave you. So you hold on to them. You don't want them to go anywhere.
Keep them right here. We're not going anywhere.
But you know what? That's the problem. That is a level of selfishness.
Exactly.
Because if you have your ace in your back pocket, that means that ace has potential. So develop them to either go fly, or you leave and let them fly where you are, and you go find somewhere that you can go be better at, so that they can build their muscles in your position.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the things that I pride myself on. I don't think I've ever left a company without, and when I left, the person who took over from me doesn't have a direct line to me, or doesn't say, wow, thank you, you left everything so organized, or I left and the place can't function without me. Never. There's always somebody who knows what I can do. And when I leave, I'm still calling you. Good? You okay? You sorting, I'm always there as a support. I've never left an organization and not, well, everywhere I've worked, I'm still family. I've never left somewhere and they're saying, boy, this is not right, or nobody can do this. Never, because I always make sure that people know, everybody knows what I'm doing. There's nothing special about what I'm doing. My superpower is actually with making sure everybody can achieve the goal. So while I have the skills and I can do everything that everyone is doing, I think my superpower is making sure that everybody is confident and capable to do what is required.
Right.
On that note, we're drawing down on time. We can't stay here forever. As much as we enjoy listening to you and you sharing all the nuggets that you're sharing with us tonight, this must come to an end, right, Donna?
Absolutely.
For tonight at least. So final arguments. Karla, is there anything else you would like to say? Anything you didn't get a chance to say but you need to say? Just tell us that in a final argument. Share it, please.
All right. So I think just to kind of sum up everything about the book and leadership, etc., which the book on leadership is coming soon. But just to sum that up, I just think that I believe that what I have shared in the book is a lot of coping strategies. And it's a lot of advice, and people can go out and get the book. You can contact me on Instagram, Facebook. I'll send you the payment link. It's not an issue, and you can get your book. But I just want to say that leaders, people in general, we just need to understand that we need to realize that we're not in this world alone, and we're not walking alone. And as we go down the path of life, everybody faces different challenges, and everybody has a different path. But if you can, while you are interacting with one person, be that difference in their life, be that difference where you work, in a person's life, be that difference in your company by coming up with a good continuous improvement strategy to help them get better. Add value wherever you are and leave a positive impact. And if we do that, then the world is just going to be a completely different place, and will have changed from where I see the trajectory is now. And we just all need to focus on, I think people need to focus on doing that.
Well said. Donna, final thoughts?
We have one comment here that says, "Bring her back," and
That's all that.
I agree. I agree because I definitely agree, because I do think this is such an important topic as far as leadership, because some people, they're put in leadership roles, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're good leaders, right? So I think it's worth definitely doing more deep dive into really what does being a really good, successful leader looks like. And we lead in various different capacities, right? It's not just in the workplace. We lead in our friendships, our home, just in the world, right? In general, we all find ourselves in some type of a leadership situation. And I think really understanding the whole dynamics of what it looks like to really be a good leader is worth really digging a little bit deeper.
Yeah. And it will change the world.
And talking about changing the world, this world needs some changing, though.
Yes.
We live in a place and time where we need to see some improvements, major improvements, right? This place needs changing. Donna, is that your piece?
That's my piece.
That's your piece? Well, for my piece, I just want to say to Karla Stephen Hall, because she got that name with a hyphen. These days you see that a lot, right? The hyphen thing, and that's gotta recognize it, and you gotta give it up when you see it. Clearly what you've done with us tonight has been powerful, impactful, and speaks to why we ask you to come back on, because we know that what you bring is important. It's necessary. When you talk about leadership, and I had asked you, is there a gap or a vacuum? I think I said vacuum, but I think a gap in leadership, and I believe so, everywhere. Jamaica, everywhere else, and where should it begin? Where should it start? It should start, it should start at the very early age, right? The youngest age, and in those schools where these kids are just starting to learn. Those basic schools, we got to start teaching leadership. And I don't know if we're doing that. I don't know if we're making it a priority. And that's where you have to start. Even as young as they are, that's where it starts. That's where it should start. That's where you should start in your home. You should begin in your home at that age as well. So leadership is not something, it's not, they say some people are born leaders. I think it requires some, you'll have some traits there that you're born with. But I think leadership, you got to learn. There's some learning.
It's muscle building.
Muscle building. There's some learning to do. And clearly you have done that, and you continue to do that. And you're not done. So I ask and encourage you to continue to do just that. Continue to grow, continue to live in a learning space, you know, just operate there because that's the best place to be. Make mistakes. Continue because that's where you grow. That's where you grow. Make mistakes as many as you want to. There's no failure in making mistakes. There's just opportunities to grow in making mistakes. So continue to do that. You know, I want to say to anyone out there listening that each day is an opportunity. And whatever happened yesterday is important, but not that important. It is what you're doing at this very moment, what you're going to do right now. So use each day as a page, a blank page, to write the narrative, the story that you want to write, the story of your life. If you're all about building a legacy, legacy is how you live your life. It is what you do on a daily basis, hourly. So make sure that you're writing a story that you will be proud of, that you won't mind others telling about you, sharing about you when it's all said and done. So write the story of your life that you're okay with, that you're good with, that will make a difference, not just in your life, but in the life of so many other people. Because there is that need. It's necessary. It's critical. You know, so we live in a place, in a time where who knows what is going to happen. So much uncertainty. But the one thing you must take control of is what you do, who you are. And that's what you have control of, right?
Yes. The only thing you have control of
is what you do. So I think it was, you know, so you're the author of your story. So write the story. If you're the author of your story and you have the opportunity to write it, write the story you want to be told. And if you believe your life is important, then act like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's as simple as that, right, Donna?
Yep.
If you see your life as important, don't just talk about it. Take action. Do what you need to do to get the results that you claim you want, right? So that's my piece for the night. Donna, you want to take us home?
Sure.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for you gotta come back now. Yeah, you gotta come back. That's what everyone is saying. Bring her back, bring her back, bring her back. So we have no choice but to bring you back. So.
All right. No, but it was good tonight though. I really appreciated the conversation, and and thank you to the viewers, thanks for joining and sharing and allowing me into your world.
Awesome. So we would like to say once again, Miss Karla Stephen Hall, we do thank you for joining us this Monday evening. And we would like to also say thank you to your precious husband for allowing us to have you this evening while he's taking care of home. So shout out to Huzzy for helping us out here this evening. We appreciate you as well. To our audience who spent their Monday evening with us, we thank you very much. We do not take your time for granted. We hope that you did gain some knowledge from this evening's show, and we hope that you have a wonderful remainder of the week. I would like to also say, if you have not purchased your tickets as yet for February 22nd, the Colloquium, jump on it now. Tickets are on sale at collisionwithpurpose.com. You can go ahead and get your early bird special. So make sure you get your tickets. My next thing is please, please, please go out there and do one act of kindness tomorrow. Choose someone that you do not know, a perfect stranger, and do something kind. Kindness will definitely change the world and change someone's day. And we thank you for joining us this Monday evening.
And the comments won't stop coming, by the way, but we gotta go. We gotta go. We can't stay here forever, right, Donna? That's what you keep telling me. We gotta go. So, Karla, if you stay backstage, we gotta go.
A trail is written of hearts that strive. Through fire and flame, they find their way, becoming iron where courage holds sway. this is fun.